Alright, here we are at 3516 Harwen Terrace. So I will do a quick tour around the outside of the house. It's a nice street, quiet, not too far from TCU, but you're far enough that you're not going to get, traffic or anything related to that coming off campus. I think this house could be a good option for you guys. Let's go inside for starters. Did want to mention, and the listing mentions this, that the roof and gutters were replaced in 2014 and 2015, so it's nice to have those taken care of. You've got a lot of shade out here. You'll kind of see it from the backyard. You've got a couple of really big older trees in your backyard, which is nice. So coming in, everything looks solid structurally all around the outside. It's a pier and beam house, like most over here. You can feel in a couple of spots where you could potentially tighten up like the shims underneath, but in general the house feels pretty level. So this is your living room, and really things have been pretty tastefully updated within the home. The windows are older, so I think the windows are original, and I think they're painted shut. Maybe a few of them would open, but for the most part I think they're painted shut. The home's been updated, but I don't think it was like updated for the sake of selling or anything like that. I think it's just been kind of maintained and updated over the years. It's definitely staged for selling. But I like the fireplace. It's got like some, brickwork surrounded by the wood trim. It looks really nice. You've got a water heater in this closet. I would guess it's 10 years old or something like that, maybe a little less even. It has a drip fan, but I don't think it. Nope, there it is. Okay, that's good. So it is plumbed to, if there were an overflow, it would go down below the house. So that's nice. And really, even inside of these older closets and stuff, things have been, the connections look good. They've done a nice job over the years maintaining things. I think they've had stuff professionally maintained. I did notice over here, just speaking to like the level of the home, this was probably the spot where there was the most evidence of movement. And in a house this old, you just kind of get that kind of stuff, but I wanted to point it out. So come in, I'll stand on this side just to give you one more shot of the living space. So there's that. Okay, so you've got the arched opening that comes into your dining room. And then when you turn to the right, there's a little step up here. The whole house has what I would guess are the original hardwood floors. They may be newer than original, but it's nice that they continue throughout, except for the bathrooms and the kitchen. And they're in pretty good shape. So coming into the kitchen, it's kind of a galley style, not real big. They've kind of staged it to have a real small breakfast nook over here. And then we'll go outside in a minute. That's your door to the back patio. But they've definitely updated this kitchen, and when they did it, they did a pretty good job. The cabinetry looks nice. They stay in the insides, and they look really clean and good. All the drawer glides work well. It's a granite countertop. Back up a little, show you here. But no, in general, I like the kitchen. I like the quality of the finishes. Little separation. They could probably just caulk up here along the trim line, but really just cosmetic. And like I said, the drawers look good, they're clean. There's a little bit of a seam here in the granite, but it's okay. It's not that obvious. This is your pantry. So it's a nice size. All right, so let's go back from the kitchen toward the 3 bedrooms. So first, you've got a good hall closet here. It's pretty deep. And then to the left, you've got your air intake, and then the first bedroom. And this has that nice quality paneling. It's just, I'd say a couple of these bedrooms, honestly, if you just painted the walls, it'd look a lot better. And it's also, of course, to your taste. But like I noticed on this wall that, there's just evidence of like people having hung some stuff, and then they didn't repaint the walls after that. So really minor, and a lot of folks like to add their own colors anyway, so not a big deal at all. But yeah, it's a good sized room. Got a closet. And all the doorknobs have been updated. I know, Liz, you might have liked those kind of glass style older doorknobs. This house doesn't have those. It may have at one point, but they've updated the hinges and doorknobs and they look good. Here is home for a stacked washer dryer. So that's nice. I'll show you out back actually. I think the washer dryer was probably located out back at one point, but they moved it inside and it looks like they did a good job. So here is your hall bath. And I kind of like that the floor tile, it's kind of the same type. It's a style that you could almost buy new nowadays. It's, you know, it's something that's become pretty popular, but this looks older. I don't know if it's original. And it's got like the hanging pedestal sink over here. And then the tile in here, it's definitely been, I forget what you call this product. It's like a glaze, it's like a heavy duty paint that you can do over, you know, maybe an older ugly tile. And it is pretty durable. I mean, I've actually had this done on properties I've worked on, and it holds up pretty well. So it just makes the bathroom look a little more updated, probably compared to, you know, whatever the original might have been. So this looks nice. It's a nice older tub. Let's go see the other two bedrooms and the master with its bathroom. This room's pretty similar in size, I would say, to the last bedroom I showed you. It's got one more window over there. So good natural light. Again, same with the last room. You know, there's just evidence of where they had hung stuff on the wall. So painting this room would really be about all you had to do. And here is your master. So it's a good size. It's a little bigger than the last couple of rooms. It's got 4 windows over there, so good natural light. Here's a closet. Closet space in the master is nothing to brag about, I suppose, because that's the only closet in this room, but you guys could utilize some of the space in the other rooms. And then this is your master bathroom. So not big, but also not too bad. It's got the same type of sink as the other room. This tile is older actually. I don't know how old, but it's not kind of that glazed paint. It's just, you know, the way it was. It's got the hexagonal tile in the shower as well as out here actually. And yeah, it's probably a couple feet by a couple feet. I will say that I ran the water and there seemed to be pretty good pressure, but I did notice like when I turned on the shower that there was a little bit of rust coming through. So it just means that the water lines are probably a mixture of, maybe they've done some new connections with like copper or PEX plastic, but then they probably also have some of the old like galvanized steel in places. And you know, that definitely happens, you know, over time. People kind of add parts, and the only real consequence is when the house has been sitting like it has empty, then you notice maybe a little rust coming through. But this looks out to the backyard, so you've got privacy. So we can actually walk out. The master has an entrance here. And all the doors seem to work well. Again, I think the home looks solid. The electrical's been updated probably just about everywhere here. You've got outdoor access. You've got a light here. So here's your driveway. And it comes back to a detached 2-car garage. So again, gutters and roof updated, windows not. They did put like, you know, maybe some of that same new product over probably the old wood just to help protect some of it from further wear and tear. So then you've got this little chain link fence. I was not able to get into the garage, so I can always talk to the agent later about maybe getting him to open it and take a couple photos for us, because I would like to see what it looks like inside. From the outside, I would imagine it's in pretty good shape, but it should be 2-car. They've got a fence that they must have had like a dog out here, so they had like an extra gate and then a kennel. But if you took that out, you do have quite a bit of open space here where you don't have to touch your trees, where you could do a pool if you wanted to, and you've got, like I was saying from the front, a lot of shade back here. So it's a nice yard. Your neighbor's got a nice cedar fence, and you've got some bushes on the inside. This is your other neighbor's yard. You can see into it more. But yeah, just coming around to the back of the house, I'll show you the air conditioners over here. It looks newer, probably just a few years old. So it's a Lennox unit. And you've got Definitely an updated electric panel. I did notice in one of the bedrooms you've got your access to the crawl space under the house, so I saw where that was located. Here, I think they probably had the washer dryer out here a number of years ago, because you've got like a water line hookup and then a sewer line connection. So you've still got like an elevated piece of concrete where it all sat, and then you do have like a little bit of caulk, which would probably be really easy to just peel off if you wanted to, where they must have had, you know, some kind of little structure built around the washer dryer. And then this door leads back into the kitchen. So anyway, like I said, I think this home has some potential. Pretty good price, nice updates, not a lot of work that you'd have to do, and I think the quality of what they've done looks pretty good. I don't see shoddy craftsmanship. Like I said, the windows older, the water lines older, maybe kind of a mixture of old and new, but pretty solid house. Something to think about.